Wilson Blades. Michelle and I are back. It's been a couple of hot minutes since the last time we were doing this. It's our last preview show, isn't it?
Yeah. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Michelle.
It came up so fast. I can't believe we're here.
Well, I was texting you last night, and I was like, I completely forgot that I had a flight tonight. So that's why we have this special 3 p.m. Eastern time episode that's happening right now.
Are you doing the red eye to Prague?
Red eye to Amsterdam, and then actually have a long layover in Amsterdam, and where I'm going to do a lot of work, and then I'm going to go to Prague tomorrow night. So,
work or work?
No, work.
Parentheses.
Figure skating work.
Oh, okay.
I gotta finish setting up all the things for all of the new features of the website. Speaking of which, March Gladness is going on, and there have been lots of votes. We have counted over 100,000 votes at this point. I know. I mean, obviously, it's a number of people times a number of costumes times a number of rounds, which is leading to 100,000 plus votes. But still, lots of votes, and it's going on. If you don't know what March Gladness is, go and take a look at it. It is basically costume of the year as voted by you fans, and also based on matchups as nominated by you fans. So go to live.rockerskating.com. There's so many things going on. There's also fantasy skating, which is not like your grandmother's fantasy skating. This is more like fantasy sports in the U.S., especially in football and baseball and so forth, where you draft a program of skaters, and that program then gets scored based on how they do in the competition. So, if you draft skater X for your axel jump and they do a really good one, you get a lot of points for it. So it's fun. We tested it out at Junior Worlds. People enjoyed it. We now have leagues, so you can go and do leagues by yourselves, so you don't have to deal with everybody else, and compete against your friends and your Twitter acquaintances. And we got that, and we also have Predict Your Top 5, Prediction Central. Both of those things have prizes involved with them, so go take a look.
I need to do my top 5 predictions. I haven't done that yet. I did my draft.
You have until the start of the women's short program on Wednesday. So there's plenty of time, but there isn't because everything is coming up. All right, Michelle, shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's go.
Do we even have any idea who's coming to Prague? Because everybody's left, as expected. I feel like every time something came out, you and I were like, yeah.
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 What I was kind of a little bit surprised by was how many people withdrew from the alternate list as well.
I know.
I mean,
I gotta say, that's not a huge surprise either. I mean, recall 4 years ago when Camden Pokinen was like the second alternate and came and finished 5th at Worlds.
Yeah.
There were actually a few others that I thought were going to happen that didn't end up happening, but
well, they've got a few more days.
We still have a few more days. Everybody can still withdraw up until the draw of the short program. I mean, Michelle, you withdrew from Worlds too.
I did. Well, I wasn't entered.
You weren't even on the original entries list.
I know. I was very, I'm Fabry about it. Like, I will not be there. You will not be seeing me.
It's going to be very lonely. Nobody like nobody from the Olympics is going that I was like sort of in my circle of Olympics people.
I mean, I was so burned out by the end of Milan. I was like, I'm not even ready to watch any more skating for a while. And now that it's been like 5 weeks, I'm kind of like, I kind of want to go. I want to go to Prague. I don't know that I'd be up to working it, but I'd like to go and watch and, hang out with friends or friend singular. You're the only one there.
Basically. Yeah. I mean, you're not there. Not Olympic Sarah Hughes is not there. No Olympic champion Sarah Hughes is not there.
No Nick
Nick
McCarville.
isn't there. Scott isn't there. Like
You know
nobody's
who
there.
is going to be there?
Andrea
Andrea
Joyce.
Joyce.
I'll hang out with Andrea Joyce.
So Andrea will be bringing the party to Prague.
All right, we're going to talk about the women in pairs first
Okay.
because they're the ones that will start us off on Wednesday. And it's unlike the Olympics where you and I actually we all had a little bit of breaks in between things. There's going to be no breaks here. It's going to be one full week of lots of skating. 33 women in this field, 21 pairs in this field, and 21 pairs means that there will be one pair who will not make it to the free skate, which is just brutal.
That sucks.
It really sucks. It's
Yeah.
just like
Let them skate.
yeah, like
Come
like,
on, who cares? It's 4 minutes.
Let's do a 5 minute.
Yeah.
Let's do a 5 pair group and
Yeah.
just let them skate.
Let's make them be careful.
So sad. We what we do know is we don't have Miura Kihara, the Olympic champions. We don't have Kanti Machi, and we don't have Cameron O'Shea, and we don't have Golubieva and Giotopoulos Moore, who just withdrew a couple of days ago. Be an interesting set of pairs there, but if you think about how it all works out. Oh, and by the way, the pairs for the World Championships, you actually get 20 pairs going into the free skate. That was a
Olympic rule.
that was a change that happened over the last quad because of how competitive the pairs at one point were, and it didn't seem fair to have 16 pairs go through, and there needed to be more, and so they changed it to more, and now we have gone back to the great shrinking set of pairs again. So we're at 21 pairs. So we look at the Olympics, right? You would think your podium favorites are going to be Hase Volodin, Metelkina Berulava, and Pavlova Sviatchenko.
Let's go. Hungarian world medal.
I have been
happen.
so excited about Maria and Alexei this season. Like they've grown on me so much. Their skating has gotten so much smoother. Everything about how they look and feel on the ice is just so good. I really like them. I mean, frankly, they could pull up a world champion upset, I think.
I mean, there is nothing certain in this whole event except for them. They are going to skate 2 clean programs.
Right.
They are going to go clean, and they're going to score well. They're going to be on the podium.
Yeah.
World champion upset would be incredible.
That would be, it really would be something. I mean, it's like, I think one of the big factors for the World Championships, the post-Olympics worlds, is that there are a lot of skaters who have had a lot of commitments and obligations after the Olympics, like, going to meet important people and do important things, and like there's a reason why a lot of the Olympic champions don't end up coming, partly because of the just like general high and like emotional toll of winning an Olympics, but partially because doors just open up for everybody when they're doing this, and so
Come
excited
to the
to see.
Oscars.
Yeah.
Let's go on the Today Show.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do a Nike campaign.
I mean, Misha Shidorov has just been like making the rounds in Kazakhstan and getting one car after another and being the hero for all the kids in Kazakhstan. So, same thing with some of these pairs, but also, like Metelkina Berulava has been part of the talk of Georgia, right? Because they won a medal at the Olympics.
First Winter Olympic medal for Georgia ever.
Exactly. So, it'll be interesting to see what all of their conditionings like. And, I don't know. I feel like Pavlova Sviatchenko is one of those who has the most to gain, and like you said, the consistency is going to serve them really well.
That will be the first world pairs title if they win for Hungary since 1949.
Oh my gosh!
And the last time Hungary as a country won a world title, do you know what discipline it was in?
Hungary.
Yeah, this was an upset world title too. This was drama. I don't think either of us were alive though.
Men?
Nope.
Ice dance.
Yep.
And who did they upset?
The Olympic champions.
Which ones? No. What? I'm like Rodney and Zaitsev? No. The Protopovs?
No, that's pairs too.
Oh, we're talking about ice dance. Oh my God.
Ice dance,
Jackie.
Someone we know and love.
Someone we know and love.
They upset Olympic champions Natalia Linachuk and Gennady Karponosov. They
Oh,
won in 1980. They also won the free dance at the Olympics, but didn't win overall. So they were like hungry. And that was, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Christina Rigossi and Andras Saleh.
Sure, we got that wrong, but
I know a lot of ice dance history. I don't know how to pronounce their names.
You know who knows it. Mark Hanreddy knows it. That's who knows it. Wow, that's crazy. But that's another one of those, right? Like that is a post-Olympic Worlds.
Yeah.
And we have seen post-Olympic Worlds upsets many times, and we'll talk about some of that in the women's event because I still have dreams and nightmares about 2018 Milan Worlds, which was a crazy competition for the women.
Wakaba forever.
Wakaba forever, yep. But like what happens with the rest of the pairs, right? Like
there's a lot of sneaker medalists here.
Exactly.
Like sleeper medalists. Like there's I could put a lot of these teams as a surprise medalist depending on what happens.
I mean, I
think Efimova Mitrofanov top of that list.
Yes, absolutely. And also, not so surprising, third place at the Olympics in the short program, Pereira Michaud, who I just had on the podcast. So go and listen to it. Like if they can put down another short program like that and then skate a free skate, like they can really skate that free skate.
Like they did in the team event.
Exactly. Like that's 210 points right there. There's a lot that can happen with this. Pereira Michaud, Efimova Mitrofanov, who knows the
Nagaoka Moriguchi.
Exactly, the redemption skating of Nagaoka Moriguchi. That could be a thing.
Spoiler alert, but I picked them for my solo jump in the short program in my draft.
Oh, interesting. I picked Izzo and Meyerhofer because of the triple Lutzes.
Yeah. No, I'm going to stick with Nagaoka Moriguchi. There's nothing more beautiful than those loops when they hit.
If they do those loops well, it is really nice. I thought about that as well. Hake Kunkel, if they can skate like they did at the Olympics
that would be awesome.
And not get screwed over by the judges.
Yeah. Let's, listen up. Give them what they deserve.
Yeah, exactly.
GOE.
GOE is important.
McBeath Parkman.
McBeath Parkman, Shannon Howe, the way they skated at the Olympics.
Yeah.
I think as we're going further and further with these pairs, it's darker and darker of horses, but still like you just never know. You really just never know. Shannon Howe, by the way, are the ones who replaced Cam and O'Shea after Cam and O'Shea withdrew. Shin and Naj were the first alternates and did not take the spot. And so we'll see what happens after
Yeah.
the season with
We
them.
haven't had an announcement yet, but publicly you can see that they are no longer following each other on Instagram. So, not sure if that team exists anymore.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah, super sad.
Which is very sad.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's going to be a very intriguing set of pairs. And then also you look at not just the competition itself, right? These world championships will determine the number of spots that we get at the next world championships. And this one is always something of a great reset for number of spots because some of the top teams aren't going, right? So Nagoka Moriguchi, for example, in order to keep 2 spots for the Japanese pairs, they need to finish in the top 10. So they can't have another meltdown in the short program. And if they do, Japan loses a spot, right?
Yeah.
Italy is down to 1 pair.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
With Caldara and Maglio because Contimachi withdrew. Chilardi and Ambrosini were not even on the list to begin with. And so Caldara and Maglio are going to need to be in the top 10 to keep the 2 spots. And that's gonna be a tough
I don't know if
one.
that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we call Valentina? I mean,
I know.
it's crazy because Italy a couple years ago had so many pairs.
I know.
And yeah, I think
Vale and Andre, just like get back on the ice.
Yeah, you guys can do it. Come on,
Yeah,
it's just a
yeah.
gala program. Just
Yeah.
have fun.
Just do the Barbie girl program.
You know what's crazy is that I feel like Valentina could absolutely pull out a few throw landings. She could do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's we come in with only the US pairs having 3 spots.
Crazy.
Isn't that is mind-boggling.
Well, I think Georgia has 2 spots, but they don't have a second team.
Right.
Which I also find mind-boggling.
They literally only have 1 entry for each.
Yeah.
each event.
Yeah.
And if you remember last year at World Team Trophy, Alina Urushatse and Maurice Kavitelashvili came out of retirement so that they could do World Team Trophy, which was actually kind of fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the pairs. I think it's 3 favored for the podium, but a lot could happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, should we revisit my dreams and nightmares again from 2018 Worlds for the women?
Oh yeah, sure.
The podium, if anybody still remembers from the 2018 World Championships, was Caitlin Osman winning, Wakaba Higuchi silver, and I can't remember who was bronze. Was it Satoko? No.
Oh, it probably was. Hang on, I have the world's medals up here.
Goodness, Jackie.
What drama happened there besides Alina Zagitova melting down? Yeah, it was Satoko.
Yeah.
I can't remember anything else but that. But
so Alina melted down. Carolina Kostner.
Oh yes, Carolina. And it was in Milan. She won the short, right?
She won the
Wasn't
short.
there like a complete reversal from the short? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Brutal.
Carolina went from 1 to 4. Caitlin went from 4 to 1. And so it was like I still remember being in Foro Asago, Milan, just like with my hands on my head, being like, "What is going on?" And it was like, by that point, Caitlin had skated, like Wakaba skated like hours ago. Caitlin has skated, Satoko had skated, and it was like down to Zagitova and Carolina Kostner, and it was like 2 back-to-back disasters.
Meltdowns. Yeah, I remember Caitlin was backstage and she was tweeting and she's like, "Did I just win Worlds?" LOL.
LOL.
I couldn't believe it. I added the LOL, but question mark. She was in disbelief.
It was that was one of those events where you thought, especially after the short program, you thought you knew what the standings were going to be, the podium was going to be, or at least some semblance of it, and it resembled none of it. Maybe except for Satoko.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Wakaba James Bond free skate, that's like one of the all-time moments. I mean, that was just out of this world. I go back and watch it again and again.
Yeah.
She just was like a machine in that second half, just nailing those combinations. God.
And that was after a rough season for her. She was she went into that Olympic season being one of the favorites to get onto the Olympic team, and unfortunately just didn't have it that year.
Kaori happened. Yeah. Yeah.
So, the women in Prague.
Dun dun dun.
I'm going to show a little bit of my age here. The last time the World Championships was in Prague was 1993. And that was my second Worlds. Yeah, that was my second Worlds as an observer. And I remember listening to our fave Sandra Bezic, and this was the era when triplets, double toes were the thing that beat everybody, right? This was
could happen again.
Yeah, and I remember her saying, and another one, and there were all these triplets, double toes, and there were all these clean short programs that were being done by the women, and it was like a very exciting women's competition. And then you went into the free skate, and Nancy Kerrigan melted down.
Yes.
And
melted down.
Jose Chouinard melted down. So we've had two very ominous recollections from Jackie now for this women's event. What
will happen?
I feel very scared going into this. But it is Kaori Sakamoto's time to say goodbye. It really is this time.
Yeah. Oh God.
We thought it was going to be at the Olympics.
No.
But it wasn't. And now we got one more chance to see Kaori Sakamoto and maybe a 4-time world champion.
And maybe a Japanese podium sweep.
That could very well happen. I mean, Japan brings its Olympic team here. The Americans do not, because Alyssa Liu is not here. She's very busy getting sponsored by Fortnite.
Yeah. And doing allure makeup tutorials.
And get ready with me for the Oscars with Vanity Fair. She has 8 million Twitter or Instagram followers now.
Is she at 8
million.
now? Did she get to 8?
Yeah.
Whoa. She'll be happy about that because that's her favorite number.
Yeah.
She's born on 8/8, right? And she's the 8th American woman to win an Olympic title.
Wow. That is the most Chinese lucky thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So the three Japanese women are very much favored. I would say
realizing in this moment that Niina Petrokina has a higher season's best total score than Amber Glenn.
Just by a point and a half, right? It's like 216. Yeah. And I was at Europeans. So,
Speaking of machines, Niina Petrokina can lay down a clean free skate with a lot of content.
Yes.
So I feel like if there's not a Japanese sweep, I feel like she's a big spoiler.
I think she's up there.
Dark horse.
Amber's up there.
Yeah.
I mean, will we get Amber Glenn 2 clean programs? I would love for that to happen.
Yeah. Me too. I don't know.
I know.
I think Isabeau's probably hunting for a little bit of redemption too after her Olympic free skate.
Absolutely.
I know she's still mad about that combo, so she'll probably skate really well here. I don't know if it'll be enough for a medal, but it might be.
I think what was interesting about Isabeau at the Olympics was I felt like neither of her programs had the kind of like spark that we're used to seeing from Isabeau, and I'm not sure what it was,
I think she was too relaxed. She had too much fun.
which is crazy, right?
She was just enjoying herself too much. And I don't know, maybe she has a different explanation for that, but
Yeah.
that was my impression because she's
Yeah.
usually such a fierce competitor, and I saw her more relaxed and happy and just enjoying herself in those weeks leading up to her event than I've ever seen her like ever. She was just having the time of her life, and that's great too, you know. Um,
Which is crazy because you think it'd be the other way around, but
Yeah.
but
I
she
mean, like it worked the other way around for Tara Lipinski, but you know,
and Alyssa, right?
yeah,
And
Alina,
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah, Sarah Everhart is the third U.S. entry. She's probably looking for a little bit of redemption as well after the season that she's had, which hasn't been the season that she's wanted. And she replaced Alyssa Liu because Brady Tennell, who was the first alternate, decided to not take the spot. And she had actually said that she told U.S. figure skating she wasn't taking the spot very early, like even like at the Olympics or something in that time frame, so that Sarah could feel like she is the first alternate and continue to be ready for it. So, you know, it's like it's the Japanese, it's the Americans, it's Niina Petrokina, it's also the Koreans.
Yeah,
Jia
ultimate
Shin.
dark horse Jia Shin.
Jia Shin.
I want her to do 2 clean programs,
Can
and I
she
just
do
want
it?
to see what happens when that happens.
Yeah.
So
Gia,
crazy thing about Gia, her season's best total score is 208.45. But if you add up her season's best short and her season's best free skate, it's 215.49.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
puts her like squarely in medal contention.
right.
Come on, Gia.
If the judges will give her the right
They better.
component parts.
I don't know if they can resist. Her skating is so beautiful. Those jumps are just like, oh, they're just so beautiful when she does them well.
Yeah. Very floaty. Everything's very floaty. You know, you again look down this list. You can't say no to Sharknaki. She
Yeah,
can
with
get
her new 71.62 personal best in the short program from the Olympics.
Yeah,
Let's see it.
she could totally get in there. Sofia Samodelkina could get in there. Like this is another one of those you could see some crazy results that come out of this. And you know, the skaters we won't have here, right, are Alyssa Liu. We've talked about that. We won't have Luna Hendricks because she's been dealing with injuries. We won't have Maria Senyuk. Kimi Repon is not going to be here either. So so that there is some opening. But you know, again, like with the pairs, a lot of these, you wonder how these countries going to do to keep their 2 spots or keep their 3 spots. And you know, Belgium's going to have a lot of work to do to keep their 2 spots, right? Switzerland will have a lot to do to keep their 2 spots. Laranaki Gutman could finally get that 2nd spot for Italy, which would be very nice.
Yeah.
So lots of interesting things here, and I think I would just like to see some clean programs
Yes, please.
because of the aforementioned nightmares of past worlds that
Yeah.
we've seen. Yeah, and like we've talked about before, the post-Olympic World Championships can have unexpected results. Yuka Sato winning in 1994 wasn't wholly unexpected, but it was certainly something of an upset.
I wasn't upset.
Kimi Meisner winning in 2006.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like
She
we were
beat Sasha and Fumie. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaylin Osman in 2018. Like there's a lot. Things can happen. So very excited to see how this all goes. I was talking to Piper and Paul in an interview we released a week ago, so go back and listen to it. But they were telling me that they're sort of taking this World Championships like they took a World Team Trophy. Like they're going into it with like a similar attitude and a similar vibe of like it's still a big competition, but we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna do some good stuff with it. So like as exhausted as a lot of these skaters probably are by this point, you wonder how the atmosphere is going to be, how different it is going to be than the Olympics, because the Olympics was such a pressure cooker. And it was just a month ago.
Yeah. Maybe they'll bring their maple leaf glasses and moose antlers.
They should just have team boxes.
Yeah, they should.
They
should have them.
It doesn't need to be a team event. Just have team boxes there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And have the athletes, like the athletes are there cheering for their teammates anyway. Like why not?
Yeah.
It's
And it
too
would
much.
encourage more people to come to the
Right.
events.
Yeah.
And you could do it. I mean, I know you don't have enough boxes for like all the countries that are competing, but you could do it for the last like 2 or 3 warm-up groups,
I mean, it would just be interesting actually if the athlete seats are just in the like kiss and cry
the ice.
area along the ice, so that
Yeah.
you actually feel and see the energy coming from your teammates.
That's a good idea. You should put that in your ISU survey response. I haven't filled mine out yet, but
I have
That's a good
like
idea.
the last ISU survey that I filled out was very long.
oh yeah. I'm gonna wait till I'm like bored at work and then I'll do it. I'm not gonna
Do it.
spend my weekend doing that.
Do it on the plane.
Yeah.
I feel like my prizes are pretty good for my fantasy skating stuff. All right. So that was the women and the pairs, and those will be very exciting competitions, and let's keep our fingers crossed that it will be a good competition. All right, let's go to the men and the ice dancers. How much menning are we going to get? I think
Oh,
a
boy.
supreme amount of menning.
Yeah. This will be a menning for the ages.
I'm still recovering from, I mean, frankly, the men and the ice dance from the Olympics, I'm still recovering from
We
the
had
drama
another
of those couple of days.
Friday the 13th a couple weeks ago.
I
I
know.
was triggered. I'm like, again? I hope Ilia's not on the ice wherever he is.
Everybody
It's
was
traumatizing.
everybody was commemorating the 1 month anniversary of the Friday
The day
the 13th.
that will live in infamy.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Or in fame in Kazakhstan.
Yeah. I know that's going to be in their history textbooks.
Exactly.
Celebrating
Yeah.
the coronation of King Shaidorov.
Speaking of which, King Shaidorov is not here.
No.
He wasn't even on the original entries list
Yeah.
because he was too busy accepting new cars and kissing babies
apartments.
and opening restaurants. And I don't know what he's been
Yeah.
doing,
Yeah.
but he's certainly been the toast of Astana and all of Kazakhstan.
There was at the Summer Olympics in 2024. There was a Filipino gymnast, Carlos Yulo, that won. He first won gold medal, I believe, on vault. I think was first, and it went crazy in the Philippines. Every business there was giving him free stuff, money. We had a whole running list of it, and then he won another gold medal. And they got even more stuff. And I feel like Shaidorov is living that experience. Like when you win from a small country, you become the beneficiary of all they have to offer.
Right. I mean, Carlos Yulo is a legend.
He's a little brother who just debuted.
He's starting.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was joking.
And also good on vault and floor.
Yeah. Yeah, funny
That's
how that
crazy.
is. The businesses in the Philippines are going to run out of free stuff to give the Yulo brothers. Yeah.
That's our crossover for you. We'll have Scott Bregman on here at some point. So Mikhail Shidorov, not here. Matteo Rizzo, not here. Junwan Cha, just very recently said no. And then
so sad.
even more recently, Jason Brown was out. And we knew behind the scenes that he was certainly deciding. Like, this was not one of those where it was like, oh, he had decided a long time ago and waited till the last moment to say no. He has been
we heard as of last week he hadn't even made a decision.
Right.
So.
He's been training. He's still been skating in shows. He's still been keeping, conditioning up, and so ultimately decided to not go. And Jacob Sanchez takes his spot because first alternate Max Naumov said no. Second alternate Tomoki Hiwatashi retired. Third alternate Jacob Sanchez, who just came off a fourth place finish at the Junior World Championships, is now going to make his Senior World Championships debut.
Imagine getting that phone call.
Jacob, don't kill me if I am spilling secrets, but he told me he was snowboarding when he got the call.
Oh, he's young. He'll be fine. That's just he's training.
He's been training.
He'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah. They have continued to be training like it just another couple of weeks, right? Junior Worlds was 2.5 weeks ago. And
the real question is, did he, once he got the call, snowboard down the mountain then, or did he get on the lift and responsibly ride it to the bottom and then get off to go home?
Jacob's like, my ACL is gonna stay.
Yeah.
So that is the men's withdrawals. And also, Matteo Rizzo withdrew and noticed that it was not Nikolai Memela who got the call. He probably is still recovering from the injuries, and also very busy, I think, with Fashion Week.
Yeah, and TikTok.
And TikTok.
Yeah.
And so Gabriele Frangipani is going to be there for the Italians.
Someone made a TikTok about Nikolai Memela's inside edge "Let's take off," and they were like, "He needs to fix this. Here it is." And he commented on it, and he said, "Girl, I know."
Of course he did. Of course he did. Nikolai Memela knows everything in the social media space.
He's fun.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the men.
Happen.
Will it be the redemption of Ilia Malinin? That is a big one, right? Last time we saw him, it was at the exhibition gala, but the last time we saw him compete, it was one of those programs you'll never want to watch again because it was so heartbreaking.
Completely out of character.
Completely out of character.
I think he'll be fine. He's done many worlds. I think he'll just skate fine. I don't expect any drama.
I think I'm
really
very
worried
different
about the next Olympics, though.
Oh my goodness, it is a very different kind of pressure here, and you're not going to have all the cameras and all the stuff following you everywhere you go. And
Snoop Dogg will not be here.
There's no Snoop. Oh, thank goodness, there's no
Martha.
Snoop Dogg. Oh, yeah, none of that going on. So it'll be
Jackie Wong.
And Ilia just walks past me anyways. Yeah. That's fine. So Ilia. And then will it be the redemption of Yuma Kagiyama?
I just want to see that free skate clean once. Yeah, just give it to us clean.
As much as Yuma got his 4th silver medal, it was not a good skate for him.
No.
It just so happened that he rotated everything and didn't have a complete disaster, but I'm sure he wants to go back in time and fix that up. But he's got a chance to become a world champion. So
yeah, I think this is one of his best chances.
Yeah.
So
exactly. I do hope that we can see a Turando
please,
that is clean,
please.
because
Yeah.
that program is so good.
Yeah.
Shun Sato, after his bronze medal at the Olympics, how does he do? I mean, you got to then kind of look at these other guys who were in the mix at the Olympics, right? Steven Gogolev was literal, like
A spin
a
level.
spin away,
Yeah.
a spin level away from the podium.
He is so consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, we watched him practice so many times because he got there early for the team event. He doesn't even make mistakes in practice. He warms up the same way. He gets his jumps out. He does his run throughs. He doesn't step out of anything.
Yeah.
He's just so solid. And reliable, which I feel like we haven't been able to say about a Canadian men's skater in a while. So it's really impressive, and I'm putting him on the podium. I think he's going to do it.
Ooh.
I'm putting him
Wow.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have to do 2 programs, you know?
They
and
do
he's
have
the
to do
only one that I really believe is not going to men.
They do need to do
And I'm
2
not even
programs.
jinxing him when I say that.
I know. Like,
Yeah.
we're not jinxing anything anymore at this
Yeah.
point, because they jinx themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you know, speaking of redemptions, does Adam Siao Himfa have a redemption? Does Danielle Grasso have a redemption? Does Kevin Aymoz have a redemption? Like, all these guys who had moments of brilliance at the Olympics and then just couldn't get it all together.
I would say that Kevin Amos doesn't need a redemption. He had some issues, but he fought pretty hard. I think the redemption would be for Europeans, but I think he got that.
He got that at the Olympics.
Yeah,
he got that at the Olympics.
I'm really interested to see how Andrew Torgashev skates.
Yeah.
He skated some of his best performances his last 2 competitions. So,
Like, at the Olympics, I've never seen him train better.
yeah.
And I think the question is, has he been able to maintain that level of intensity and consistency that he had at the Olympics? And, you know, has there been sort of a letdown from the Olympics, and has he been able to bring it back up? That's, you know, we'll see it first day, whether his quad toes are popping or they're popping.
Yeah. And he was also going to go on that pizza sampling tour of Milan after his event ended. So
I know, I got to ask him about.
hopefully
I
he's
need to ask him
recovered
about
from
those. Yeah. Oh, the pizza in Milan. What am I going to eat in Prague? I eat lots of something. I need to figure it out. You know, like there are other skaters there too. I mean, Nika Gatse, same thing, right? Like
Georgi Reshtenko.
Georgi Reshtenko,
Yeah.
European bronze medalist.
Yeah.
What does he do here?
Speaking of Menning.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, you do have to realize, you do have to take a look back at those scores at Europeans, and that it was like a 230 something that got him the bronze.
Yeah.
That's not going to get him top 10 here, I don't think. Although, again, who knows?
I want redemption for Vladimir Litvintsov. I want him to skate well here. I want to see him make the free skate, smoke that cigarette at the start of his program, have a great skate, and enjoy himself. That was like one of the most heartbreaking parts of Milan, was him having that short program implosion and missing the free skate. I feel we were all robbed of a
the
performance
Joker.
that we deserved to see.
Yeah. That would have been, I mean, that would have been a lot. That would have been very nice. Let's hope he doesn't do a triple flip 5 seconds later, single toe again. That is still one of the iconic combinations of the Olympic Games.
Yeah. But it's crazy because it was so iconic in that moment. And then it became relevant in the women's event because if Kaori had done that, she would have won. She could have held that edge for 10 seconds and done the single toe, and she would have won.
Yeah,
I'm so upset.
I don't care about the song anymore. It's like that single toe needed to be there. Can we also just do a segue back to the women?
Oh, yeah.
And that Kaori Sakamoto did a a domestic competition about a week ago.
She's not ready. She's not ready to say goodbye.
No, she's not ready to take a guy. But they did not change the combination. The double toe is still on the triple lutz, and she fell on the triple flip. So she had another rep call.
Oh my God.
They
All right.
changed the combination.
Put that double toe on that first flip.
I know.
Is crazy.
It's really
All right,
crazy.
you need to do some investigative journalism as soon as you hit the ground in Prague and ask what is going on with that. What's going on?
Oh,
She does a solo lutz in the short program. What's wrong with the solo lutz in the free skate? It's the only one she's doing.
Miss Nakano, please.
Oh
please.
my God. We can't take this.
I know. Yeah. So back to the men.
I'm too traumatized to continue. Triggered.
I know. Same. Litvintsev, redemption. We get another minions from Tommy Guarino.
Yes. Let's go.
And lots of things can happen again. Like with the other competitions, it can be a wide open field, and if the menning does occur, and it most certainly probably will occur,
Yeah.
there could be some wild standings at the end of this whole thing. We have France, Japan, and the U.S. coming in with 3 spots.
I don't know that's gonna hold up for France, but I hope it does.
I don't know if it holds up for the U.S. either.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what one. Ilia has to be up there.
Yeah.
2, Torgashev has to be as good as he was at the Olympics, or Jacob Sanchez does 2 clean programs and they don't hose his components. Like they can keep the 3 spots, but it's not easy.
Yeah. I weirdly have a lot of faith in Jacob. I don't know why. I think he's going to skate well.
I would like to have a lot of faith in Jacob.
Yeah.
I feel like he's burned me before, so.
Is this our first world team without Jason Brown in a whole quad?
Oh,
Pretty
Jason
sure it is.
Brown. It's been a while. Yeah, he's been at the last 3 worlds.
Yeah. Oh, 2022 he didn't go. Yeah.
Right, but he was at 23, 24, 25. So he was yeah.
You know that Jason has never in his career finished lower than 9th at Worlds?
That's what I keep saying.
Wow.
Like as much as people talk about how he hasn't medaled at Worlds,
Yeah.
he's been very reliably in the top 5 to top 8.
Yeah.
And really
He's like an index fund. He is just, you can count on him.
very yep.
Yeah.
You're not going to go big, but you're gonna be very steadily earning your money. That is for sure. Yeah, the men. Wow. I don't know what's going to happen.
Gogolev. Gogolev's going to happen.
Go medal.
Go medal. And
All
that'll
right.
be the first Canadian men's medal since. Do you have to be Patrick? Am I making that up?
Yeah. Who else would have been besides Patrick?
Well, I know Keegan didn't win one.
It wasn't Keegan, yeah.
Patrick, the last world medal for a Canadian man.
15?
No,
14?
earlier.
14?
13.
13.
Patrick
He wasn't at
won
14.
his last of 3 titles.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Patrick Chan. All right. So we're down to ice dance.
Okay. Speaking of the last time Worlds were in Prague, this was the
go
Usava Julin. They won their first and only world title, the forever just on the bubble team that could never break through. They could never be Klimova and Ponomarenko. And then the Duchesnes started, passing them. And it was like they just could not get there. And finally, in 93, they had this incredible Blues for Klug program, and they won their first and only world title. And Russia swept the world podium. They won all 3 medals in dance. It was Usova Julin, Grisha Platov, Krylova, Fedorov. But you know what? This dance event, I think something similar is going to happen in terms of a long time team that has always been on the bubble finally getting their flowers. And I think Piper and Paul are going to win this world.
I totally agree.
It's going to happen.
Look, I could be just making up in my head. But there's something about the momentum that they got at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Madison Chalk, Evan Bates are not here,
mm-hmm.
where the judges' brains have now been freed up in
mm-hmm.
some ways
mm-hmm.
to think about a different team up
mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I totally would agree with you about
mm-hmm.
the potential for Piper and Paul to win this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the continued potential, frankly,
mm-hmm.
of Fournier, Beaudry, and Cicerone making a major error,
mm-hmm.
because that we've seen that this
mm-hmm.
season. We saw that at in practices at the Olympics.
Yeah.
They
push so hard, and I wonder about, because I talked about in our Olympic recap about how they push so hard in practice and then hold back a lot in competition. And I wonder when they are pushing harder in competition, if that's when the mistakes happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a feeling that it's going to be Piper and Paul. The momentum is there.
And a post-Olympic Worlds for
mm-hmm.
ice dance has not been without its surprises either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Remember the day when Anna Capolina and Luka Lanote won Worlds in 2014?
By a whisker. All the medals were within like a few, like 3/10 of a point or something. They were so close.
Yeah.
Yeah. There have been a couple Olympic champions who have defended their world title or who won worlds right after. Bertrand Moyer did it in 2010. Papadakis and Cicerone did it in 2022. But it's not a guarantee by any means.
No. The thing that I think of with Piper and Paul for me is that their Olympics free dance was so utterly transformative for
mm-hmm.
them
mm-hmm.
that they might come in with a very different kind of just like mindset of what
mm-hmm.
this competition is for them. And they were even saying this on the interview when I was talking
mm-hmm.
to them, was that they felt a difference in the way mm-hmm. that they did that program at the Olympics than they had done it before.
Mm-hmm.
And you wonder if that kind of magic is going to happen again. I go back to, this is obviously pairs, but I go back to Sviatchenko and Massot in 2018 after the Olympics, where we were like, they can possibly do that program any better than they did at the Olympics. And then they did it better at Worlds.
Yeah. Okay, I have chills. Sviatchenko, Massot.
Yeah.
That free skate was so good.
It was so good.
Yeah. Psychological breakthrough, and they can skate with that kind of freedom.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And their programs really came together at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
RuPaul
mm-hmm.
came together at the
mm-hmm.
Olympics, finally.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent came together at the Olympics. So, again, you wonder.
Mm-hmm.
So you think those two for gold.
Mm-hmm.
You think Thier and Gibson versus Zingis Kolesnik for bronze, which are words that I did not think I would say at the beginning of the season.
It's interesting because Thier Gibson for so long had so much momentum. And in their last two competitions, I feel like it really screeched to a halt. And Zingis, on the other hand, is just like shooting for the stars.
Speaking of momentum.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see how Fear Gibson compete here. I know that they were a team that they really had this very strong mental game, and their attack was really what powered them forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once the doubt started creeping in there, especially with Lila's twizzle issues, if I think that really kind of unseated them in the last two competitions, especially at the Olympics. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how they skate here. And I feel like we know how Zingas and Kolesnik are going to skate. They're going to be skating out of their skin. They're going to be raising the roof. It's going to
Yeah.
be, all energy all the time.
Yeah. I think the two of them, and I think Zingas Kolesnik, Reed Ambrulevicius, and Smart and Deke, all three of those teams, I think, have the potential to be the spoiler for the bronze, with Zinga Kolesnik being the higher potential of those three. But still, like like you look at them versus Allison and Saul at the Grand Prix final, right? Grand Prix final, Allison and Saul were scored higher.
I want to
smart D.
put Lopareva Briseau in that conversation.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's like, then is there even a dark horse of a Green Parsons coming in after not being at the Olympics and maybe bringing something a little bit different than what everybody's been seeing, right? Because we haven't seen them since Four Continents. They're the ones who are replacing Chalk and Bates here, and they're fresh. They haven't had to come down from the Olympics. They've in the interview that I had with them, were saying how grateful they were to their season getting another shot, getting having another chance at extending their season. So
I'm interested to see how Turkala Versluis look, because they really weren't, they said that they were feeling 100% better, but I didn't feel like they looked at the Olympics like they were as comfortable as they were in the past, with his injury and everything. And I'm wondering if a few more weeks of training, if they look more like their old selves, because I feel like in this field, they should be contenders. They have fantastic material, especially that free dance. It's just like, oh, it's so good. It's just that tango, like, that's just, so addictive and easy to reward and easy to like and very accessible. And, their season scores are not great just because of his injury, but I think they could move up here.
They lost some of their power and their just sort of assertiveness, especially in that free dance.
Yeah.
I remember last season when we were watching that free dance, it was like it just sent chills down your spine, because it was just like so well done most of the time.
Yeah. Especially that straight line lift at the end is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. I mean, Carrera Ponomarenko also here. Hannah Lim and Ye Kwan. Do they get a little bit of a redemption? They have to.
I hope they make the free dance and get to do their free dance here.
Yeah.
I have one thing to say about Christina Carrera and Anthony Ponomarenko, just not related to this competition, but pointing back to the March Gladness that we talked about at the beginning of the episode. To everyone who didn't vote for them, you're on my list. I'm really judging you. I think Christina's dress that she debuted at the Olympics is probably the best costume of the season that anyone's had. That dress is stunning and so effective with the theme of their program. And, I took it kind of personally that she didn't get votes and that they lost their category. That was upsetting to me. I'm very excited to see it again.
Michelle is very upset. She was telling me how upset she was about it.
Yeah.
She was up against. They were up against the Amber Glenn Like a Prayer costume, though.
You know what? I voted for Amber in the ISU costume award. I didn't feel bad not voting for her here. This was Christina's award. She should have won. So, just saying.
I have very much enjoyed the great deal of thoughts and opinions that everybody's been having on March Gladness, which they were unable to maybe have with the ISU costume awards because they, it feels so terminal, right? Like
Yeah.
it's like you have one chance to just vote
Yeah.
for your one costume, and now you
Yeah.
have like whatever it is, 15 chances to vote for your costume. So
Yeah.
anyway, back to dance. The podium will be very interesting. I do think, with every other one of these competitions, the potential for there being some kind of surprise on the podium is high. The question is, what is the surprise? And will there be more than one? 'Cause there could be. Yeah, I mean, with the ice dancers, right? You don't have Chalk and Bates, and that's basically, or you don't have Chalk and Bates, and you don't have Guignard Fabry, but that's basically it. Everybody else is here for the most part.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to see because the Olympics was very close across a lot of these teams. And, it was an exclamation point for Spartan Deek's choreograph character step, or it was a level here and there for these people, or it was a miss on a bracket turn that left somebody with 2 levels fewer, or it was like something.
Can we lay off the choreo step calls at this event? Just please. We've given out enough. We met the quota. Just don't do it this event. Leave them alone.
It's like parking tickets.
Yes.
It's
when
like,
you're legally parked.
Yeah. Somebody decided that you were, 4 feet 8 inches from the fire hydrant or whatever it is. I don't even know what the rules are for parking near fire hydrants because I don't have a car. But, it was like one of those things where you're just so close, and the nickel and diming is quite upsetting. Should we do our top 3 for each of these disciplines?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Let's start with the dance.
Okay. Gilles Poirier first, Fournier Baudry Cizeron second, Zingis Kolesnik third.
I have the exact same top 3.
Yeah, let's go. Okay.
Okay, I'll do women on my part.
Okay.
We'll switch off. Kaori Sakamoto, Amber Glenn,
Ooh.
Mone Chiba.
Ooh, Mone. Ami Nakai first, Kaori Sakamoto second, Amber Glenn third.
Wow.
I adore Mone.
This was the switcheroo from the Olympics where I was like, Mone's not going to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
All right. Pairs.
Do you want to go or you want me to go first?
You go.
Okay. Pavlova Sviatchenko.
Oh.
Hase Volodin. Metelkina Berulava. I've never heard the Hungarian anthem. I'm ready.
Oh gosh, this one is. I have the same top 3. I would put Hase Volodin first, though,
Okay.
and then Pavlova Sviatchenko, and then Metelkina Berulava.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sense.
Men. Oh.
This is so hard. I don't even know. I don't even know here.
It's like it's too. I'm just gonna go for it. Yuma, Ilia, Adam.
Wow. Okay.
That's not even like I don't even know what that came from, but
I'm gonna do Ilia, Gogolev, Yuma.
Wow, there's already menning going on in our predictions.
Yeah. And I shouldn't pick Ilia to win because he burned me before, but I feel like it's inevitable that he will win. So
I just don't know. I really just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there we go. I think of all of the podium picks I have done all season, this one is by far my most unhinged.
It's going to be something insane. And the men, it's probably going to be like Calmira in second.
Something like things
Yeah.
are like I think both of us are reacting to the fact that a post Olympic Worlds is not typical. It's just not typical. Something's going to happen, and we don't know what is going to happen, and our minds are just like going off the wall.
What was the year? Was it 2010 when Daisuke and Mao won Worlds after they both failed to win the Olympics? I feel like that was the year. Maybe it's 2014.
Yep, Mao won in 2010.
She won in 2010 and 2014. Yeah, it was Daisuke in 2010.
Yeah,
And Yuzu was the Olympic champion in 2014.
right.
But yeah, I was thinking in 2010. So they both missed gold in the Olympics and landed on the podium, and then they both won Worlds. So maybe it will be Yuma and Kaori.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that's it for our last preview episode of this very long season.
Crazy.
And hey, folks, thank you for joining us during this whole thing. We will be back with both recap shows. Michelle may be joining me for some recap shows during the week. And we will be back for the full recap of the World Championships next week. Michelle, anything before we go?
I guess I'm going to be watching some skating. Here's to hours and hours.
Here's to hours and hours.
Yeah.
This week is going to be 6 a.m. to midnight, almost every single day.
Whoa.
Yeah, that'll be something. There's going to be something.
I hope you have some good snacks. I'll
Luckily,
be in
I'm
LA. I will definitely have good snacks.
luckily, I am right next to the arena, so it's not going to be
Nice.
a long commute. All right, well, that's it for this episode of the Rocker Skating Podcast. We had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. And lots of things. If you're in the mood to support rocker skating and this podcast and all the stuff that we do, go ahead and subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Subscribe to this podcast on your podcast platforms. That is very important for us. And rocker pins are still on sale. And we're going to have an actual sale for the World Championships starting later today. So watch out for that. And go and play all the games that you want. March Gladness, Fantasy Skating, and Prediction Central. They're all for you at live.rockerskating.com. I'm going to stop promoting my website now, but that's going to be the place for all of the coverage coming up in Prague from me this week. Practices start on Tuesday, competitions start on Wednesday, and we're going to go at 250 miles per hour for 5 days straight. It's going to be a very different pace than what we were used to at the Olympic Games. So, all right, for Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of rockerskating.com. Thanks, as always, to our brilliant, fantastic sponsors, John Wilson Blades, for keeping us going all season long, and to Tara Nichols, who is listening to this and probably trying to figure out what parts to cut. So that's it for this time. We will talk to you again soon. Bye.